Hey guys, I made a key for the video key for the back of the study guide. Let's look at question 31. These are some questions that you might have to think a little more about, some application problems. So we can treat these similarly to how we found the midpoint. So find the point that is 1/4 of the way from 2, 4 to 10, 8. So that is our goal. The first thing I would do, sorry, I'm looking for a pen that's going to write better than that last one. The first thing I would do, you probably know, is I put them in a table. So this is my, oh my gosh, see how many pens it takes. This is my starting point. So when I start at 2, 4, that's an ordered pair, I am 0/4 of the way to the other point. So if you just think about it, if we're going 1/4, my denominator instead of 2 is going to be 0. Or excuse me, my denominator is going to be 4. I'm 0/4 of the way. I can travel 1/4, 2/4, which is the same as our midpoint, 3/4, and then 4/4 the way there. We know 4/4 is a whole. So when we get 4/4 of the way there, we are at that other point. So at 10, 8. So this is really similar to how we work the midpoint problems, but now we're breaking it down to other fractions. All right, so my change in y is that I'm increasing by 4. This time, instead of dividing that number by 2, I want to divide that increase by 4 because we're finding fourths. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. So I'm going to fill out this table by increasing, by 1 each time. So 4 plus 1 is 5, 5 plus 1 is 6, 6 plus 1 is 7, 7 plus 1 is 8. Okay, the table looks good on that side. Over here on the other side, from 2 to 10, that's an increase of 8. Again, I want to know what is 1/4 of 8. So 8 divided by 4, or 1/4 of 8, is equal to 2. So I'm going to go up by 2's. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. So I see that constant rate of change as x increases by 2, y is increasing by 1. I could think of that as a unit rate, 1/2, as x increases by 1, y is increasing by 1/2. That doesn't matter. What matters now is that I pick the right point. So the point that is 1/4 of the way from 2, 4 to 10, 8 is this point right here at our 1/4 spot. So our answer to that is 4, 5. All right, number 32, really similar. We're finding the point 3/4 or 3/4 of the way now, 3/4. I'm going to do it in this exact same way. So I'm going to set up my XY table. From this point, so that word from tells me I'm starting at -3, 2, and we said when we start, we are 0/4 of the way to the other point. We've not left our starting location. I can travel 1/4, 2/4, or half. Sorry, my line got small, 3/4, and then 4/4 is all the way there, because 4/4 is 1 whole. All right, we're going to do the exact same thing here to fill out the table, but the point we choose in the end will be different. So we've got an increase of 8. 8 divided by 4 is 2. This side should increase by 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, end at 10. Looks good. On the left side, this is an increase of 5. So travel up the number line 3 to get to 0, 2 more to get to +2. That's an increase of 5. Oh, this one's kind of yucky. Because 5/4 is going to be a decimal. So if it helps, you could do 5 divided by 4 in your calculator, and you'll get 1.25, and that's how we're going to increase. So -3 plus 1 is -2, plus another 0.25 is -1.75, and you are encouraged to use your calculator here. Add another 1.25 to that, and we are at 1/2 or negative 0.5. Add another 1.25 to that, and we are at 0.75. And then another 1.25 to that brings us to 2. That's just nasty that ended up being a change in 5 and not a change in 4. So the point that is 3/4 of the way is going to be this point that we ended up at. So before we got 4/4. So 0.75 or 75/100, comma 8. And if you worked that out as fractions, that's 3/4, comma 8. That's hard. I wouldn't stress out about a problem that complex with decimals, but it's good to know. All right, we got 33 is tough, and then 34 is going to seem really easy after this. All right, so in 33, we're finding the point 1/3 of the way from negative 3,1 to negative 12,2. So same deal here, but what's my denominator? Rhetorical question. This is a video. You can't answer me. But I hope in your head you did not think 4. If I'm finding a point that is 1/3 of the way, I'm going to use the denominator of 3. So when I start at this point, I am 0/3 the way there. Then there's a point out there that is 1/3 of the way down the segment. There is a 2/3 point. And then now when we get 3/3 of the way there, that's a whole. 3/3 is one whole. So when I get 3/3 of the way there, I'm at my other end point, which is negative 12, comma 2. All right, from negative 1 to positive 2 is an increase of 3. This time, because I'm talking about thirds, I want 1/3 of 3, which is positive 1. So I'm going to increase by 1. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So I know I'm at the right point. Same thing on this side. Negative 3 to negative 12 is a decrease. Even though that number is getting bigger, it's getting more negative. So I am decreasing by 9. 1/3 of 9, or negative 9 rather, is negative 3. So I'm going to decrease by 3. Negative 3 minus 3 is negative 6. Minus 3 again is negative 9. Minus 3 again is negative 12. So to answer the question, what point is 1/3 of the way from negative 3, negative 1 to negative 12, 2, that is going to be this point located at negative 6, comma 0. All right, I'll post the key to that midpoint one, but to not make, so this video isn't forever, I'm going to stop the video here, but I'll post the key with number 34 on Schoology.